Welcome to Bible Talk! Hi guys, so I'm Aniyah and I'm on my healing journey. Recently I've been going through some stuff and I've been getting really closer, and I've been going to church. I feel like as somebody who's young in the generation, I'm 18 years old, some of us don't understand the Bible and we think it's complicated and hard to comprehend. Some of us don't want to go to church because we don't really know what it's about. And yeah, there's like singing, worshiping, and it's so amazing, it's so awesome. I freaking love it. I'd rather do that than go to a concert. They talk. Sometimes it moves you, and today's lesson moved me. It really shook me. I was bawling by the end of it. I just want to share with you guys my experience and give you guys my interpretation on what this meant to me. So I want to start off with the lessons that we learned today, and then I'm going to explain to you what they told us about the story and explain to us. It's the Corinthians series, and it was called Called Out. The whole thing was basically to learn and grow. I felt like they was calling me out. Every time I go to church, I feel like they're calling me out. I was supposed to be here today. So the first lesson that they told us was your past does not define you, Jesus does. Second one was be passionate, but be passionate about the truth. The third one was to respond to God's call with speedy obedience. Now I'm going to explain these to you. The first one, your past does not define you, Jesus does. In today's service, we learned about Saul, and Saul's also known as Paul. So I'm going to tell you who Paul is, Saul is. So this guy, he was known to be a killer. He was a destroyer. He was a terrorist. He hated Jesus. Like, he did not mess with Jesus. He did not like him. And he destroyed churches. He was a hateful person. They described him as an influential leader, and he basically bullied Jesus. Like, this guy literally stoned a guy named Stephen, or I hope I'm saying these names right, but he stoned him to death. Like, that's tough. And he was burning down churches and doing all this stuff to churches and like destroying everything. Jesus was tired of it. He was like, you know what? Y'all keep playing with me. Y'all keep playing on my name. I'ma change your mindset. So he came down, was like, I don't know, he was explaining with like horses going everywhere. But Jesus came and they were shocked. Like, they were all shocked to the point that they were all laying on the floor type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? That being said, he called Paul, or Saul, out to be an apostle of Jesus Christ. And not only that, I wrote down, because remember, I took some notes. He called Saul into a loving life for the church. Remember, he was this hateful person. He hated Jesus. He didn't mess with him. He was like, bro, like, you're lame. Like, he did not care. But God called him out and was like, yo, hold up. Got the energy to do all these bad things, you can have the energy to put some good in it. Let me tell you the truth. And that's where it goes back to be passionate, but passionate about the truth, because sometimes what you believe isn't true, and you can put that within your personal life, because sometimes things aren't true. You have this picture in your mind and you're thinking all these things because of the things that are around you, or this, that, and the third. Sometimes what you're passionate about, a relationship, a job, a friendship, a religion, sometimes those things aren't true. Sometimes it's just all in your head. Sometimes you're not hanging around the right people. God was telling him, I can forgive you and you can change. It's not too late. I also wrote down that Paul had a past, and so do you, but you can survive your mistakes. This is what the pastor was saying. Paul had a past. He did a lot of bad things. When God called on him, he changed his life. He was moving people. He was doing stuff. He was a bad person. He changed, and anybody can change. I feel like not only that, respond to God's call with the speedy obedience. Don't take forever to do it, just do it. Like, you know, when you say, I need to clean my room, and then it takes you a week to clean your room, stop doing that. You have an intuition, or you have a calling, or you know you need to do something, just do it. Do it. And that's how, like, with God is, respond to God's call. If God is telling you this is where I feel like you need to go, or your path, or this is that and the third, listen to your intuition. Do it, and don't procrastinate. Don't be like, I need to start praying more. I'm gonna start next week. Start praying more then. Start praying more tonight. Oh, I need to read my Bible. Oh my gosh. Like, one day I'm gonna get there. I don't understand it. Start today. If you feel a calling, start. And start with the speedy obedience. Going back to the things that you're passionate in may not be true. You have to sometimes unlearn stuff and relearn it. You may be a person who doesn't even believe in God. Guess what? It's because you have this picture or this image in your head and you're scared. You may have not went to the best church or this, that, and the third. But guess what? You can unlearn and relearn, and you can fall in love with different things and be passionate about different things. When you have realization, that's when change starts. So when you're like, oh my gosh, my life is a lie. What? I just figured this out. What? Now this is clicking, this, that. You start to change. Now this one was like the mover. I was like, oh, you're never too far gone to be used by God. So everyone was like, bro, Saul, this guy's horrible. They would have never expected him out of everybody, the one who's destroying churches, to be praising the Lord and moving people and telling them about God. But it was never too late. You're not a bad person. You gotta change. It's okay. Change is okay. It's never too late. So then at the end, they were basically telling me, with this lesson, I want you guys to learn and grow. That's what he was saying. Like, basically what I gathered from that was like learning and growing, right? He said, ask God right now, what are you trying to teach me? Jesus was trying to teach Paul, his name. He was trying to teach him a lesson, and then he became better. Ask God, what are you trying to teach me right now? Tell me. I'm gonna answer with speedy obedience. Tell me, because I know what I may have thought may not be true. Tell me, because my past does not define me. You do. Tell me. Also, Paul changed his life once he realized that he was real. He was like, oh my gosh, that's realization. He realized, oh my gosh, I've been doing this. I thought of Jesus as this type of person. Now that I see him and I'm realizing all this stuff, wait, I'm not this person that I used to be. I want to change. Like, that's amazing. God moves us and changes us for the better. Change and being in a position where it's not your regular routine. Sometimes being uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, but you have to be uncomfortable to change. You have to do different things to change. And the last thing, I'm going to tie this all up, talking about a goad, right? The goads, and that's basically a stick that they used to carve, and it has like a pointy thing, and basically when an animal didn't listen, like they'll poke it to make the momentum and make them move. Say, like, for example, you get cheated on. That's God's goad. Come on girl, you're giving up on yourself. Let's go. Motivation, let's go. Pick it up, do what you gotta do. You start realizing stuff, you know what I mean? That's the goad. He was basically saying, what goads is God using in my life? He said, ask yourself, what goads are God throwing at you to try to make you learn and grow, and you're avoiding it, and you're not listening to it, you're not letting it click? Think of it. What are these things that have happened that you know for a fact God did that for you to grow, and you kept repeating the same freaking lesson? He keeps showing you the same lesson and you keep repeating it. You already graduated from that class. You don't need to go back. I graduated high school. Why am I gonna go back? You feel me? That's what I basically learned today, guys. I wrote in parentheses, call out of us. He's calling us out. He's saying, let's get it going. It's time for change. This is the season of change. Earthian series. This was so interesting. And next week, we're going to get even more deeper into this. So if you guys like this video, let me know and I'm going to keep doing it. And this is just what I was thinking and what I wrote down and what I gathered from it as an 18-year-old. So I hope you liked it. I hope you stayed. If you stayed, say amen. Love you guys. Bye.